Because again, in that moment, his priority is to check on those divers. Who cares what footage you get? You kind of clamp your legs on their tank because they can't actually rip you off that way. So it's really important to have videos like this for instructors and divers to be able to see what an actual open water skill looks like. Okay, this video is simply called Diver Panic. It is something as scuba diving instructors we have seen a lot. At least 1 out of 5 of my students have panicked while underwater, usually during the mask skill, exactly like that, because they get water into their nose, so the instructor is holding on to them, giving that physical reassurance. As you can see, he's dealing with a line there. This person is still struggling to clear the mask. The instructor is reassuring them, so telling him to look at him, to watch again how he's doing it, so he's communicating, holding on to him again, physical reassurance, which is really important during teaching because people just feel calmer if you just hold on to them here or here. But you can see this diver is definitely not very comfortable in the water. She's asking for a minute, which a lot of my divers have done. Again, she's filling her mask, she's trying to clear it, she's kind of overcorrecting, which is causing some water to go back in. So she's definitely not super comfortable. So it's really important to have videos like this for instructors and divers to be able to see what an actual open water skill looks like. But personally, I just don't like filming this. It just makes me nervous. You're not meant to film yourself, just in case. You see, so she still has water in there. She's starting to get more agitated. She's not happy about it. She's getting her hands in there. She's telling him there's still too much water in there. She's freaking out. He's holding her. So he's doing the right things, right? She wants to go up. She's using the correct hand signal, which is really great. He's telling her again, try it again, stop, slow down, and try again. So he's getting her hands together, so she's not trying to do anything. So he's calmed her down very well, is bringing the next person over. What's happening here? So he's just moved on to get to the next person to try and do the skill with them. And this person's doing it pretty good. Again, lots of hand movements. You can tell these are open water divers. They're new in this. Having the other people do it gives the person who's panicked a break. So this is very much what lots of my sessions have looked like, in sense of one person freaking out, keeping them calm, keeping them down, reassuring them, and then moving on to the other students to kind of give them that break before coming back to them and allowing them the chance to do the skill again. Look, with the touching the bottom, it's so hard. So many of us were taught to teach students while they're kneeling down. Then it was said that we should be using neutral buoyancy because that's when you actually have to do all the skills. So I'm not blaming this instructor for having them on the sandy patch. That's what a lot of us have been told. Of course, ideally it is that they do it neutrally buoyant, but then they're also more likely to float away and stuff. But yeah, for most of you guys, if you're not diving instructors, this is what a lot of your courses do look like. Of course, it's really important to have people set up in a way where it's easier to control them and everything. Diver panicked. She had water in her face. That is a freaky feeling, completely understandable. And the instructor, tried to keep her calm, had that physical reassurance so she didn't bolt to the surface. Because if he didn't have his hand on her, she would have swam to the top. So he did the right thing, keeping her calm, repeating that, having that communication, looking her right in the eyes, so she calmed down and didn't bolt to the surface. So overall, yeah, that was good management. We avoided a dive accident happening. All right, this one is called Panicking Diver Gets Violent. So that's the thing. If people panic, they lose capability to think calmly and rationally. So sometimes they can get violent. So let's see what happens. So it looks like another potentially open water course. There's a lot of chaos happening. People walking on the sand in their split fins. Not a big fan of that, but let's just focus on what's going on. Just a lot of commotion. Oh, there we go. So that diver's lost his fins? Is this a training exercise? Potentially. So Panic ripped the mask off. No idea where the fins are. So that person is trying to keep them calm. He's ripped off his own mask. The person around the back, so that's what you're meant to be doing with a panic diver. You kind of clamp your legs on their tank because they can't actually rip you off that way. That is what we're taught in all of our rescue courses or even open water. You approach them from the back, clamp them with your legs on their tank. That way you can control their ascent safely, keep the regulator in the mouth, and go up nice and slowly. But yeah, I am not sure why that diver was panicking, but as you can see, people were trying to calm them down. You don't want to approach them too close from the front because exactly what could happen, rip off the mask. So yeah, that person in the back was doing the right thing. Again, that physical touching is really important to help keep people calm. Okay, we're gonna watch this more. It's potentially fatal dive in Nassau, Bahamas. So you can see 73, that looks like 74 bar maybe, so running low. The dive master said on the boat that only advanced divers can dive under 100 feet. Only 3 of us raised our hands. This looks like it's pretty deep. This wall dive was very steep. Buoyancy control was critical because, again, wall dive, it can just descend all the way to 50 meters, 100 meters. So now he's at 100 feet, so that's how much space is above him. So there's a bunch of divers above. So there's some people with cameras. Again, guys, don't bring a camera on a dive until you're very confident in your buoyancy because it just really focuses your attention and then you don't realize that you might be sinking. These 2 guys are way too deep. 70 feet was where they were supposed to be. Yeah, so those guys are way deeper than they should be. So he's at 111 feet. They were acting a bit funny. So what did he do? You see, in areas like this is why you have to like always be on alert. Even if you are an open water student, alert someone who is a rescue diver or dive master or instructor that you're seeing something funny because diving can be really dangerous if you don't do the right thing. So the dive master apparently left. They're at 115 feet. This is why it's scary sometimes to have people diving without a dive master or someone. Okay, so he made the choice to go check on them. He left the camera rolling, so just left it floating, yeah? Because again, in that moment, his priority is to check on those divers. Who cares what footage you get, right? But he's still videotaping. You see those other divers, they're so much further up on the top. This just makes me so anxious because dive accidents can happen. They're too busy taking pictures. This is what I'm saying, guys. Do not bring a camera unless you're diligent in checking your air and your decompression and have good buoyancy. I've seen so many people hit coral and hit rocks and go way down too deep. 142 meters. 142 feet, sorry. Check their gauges myself. Yeah, good on you. One diver, 700 PSI. I'll put how many that is in bar here. Okay, 400 PSI does not look like a lot. That's less than 3 minutes of air. Yeah, because the deeper you go, the faster you consume air. Oh, it looks like it's Stewart Cove, Bahamas. He signaled to stop and start our ascent. Deflated their BCDs and had them interlock hands and brought them to the surface. Props to you, gentlemen. He surfaced straight away from that point at 0 PSI. That could have been a really, really bad accident. Stay safe out there, take care of each other, keep your eyes out on other divers, because unfortunately, having a certification doesn't necessarily mean that you are capable of doing the right thing or you know everything. And don't get distracted by cameras, please. Only get a camera or even a GoPro when you are experienced. Trust me, it's just an extra safety precaution. I sound like a crazy instructor, but this is a prime example